Hello and welcome to the two-man Power Trip of Wrestling. Your host, JP John Poz. With me today, the former NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion, the AEW Heritage Champion, Mr. Joe Alonzo. Joe, welcome in. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. We're here. We're late, but we're here. Better late than never.
So, what are you up to? What's going on?
Like right now, currently in this exact moment, or
No,
like
in right now in the business right now.
in the business?
Yeah.
You got to be more specific, man, because I can tell you a million things that are going on, but like you gotta ask me directly and what's good. Like what with what? What do you want to know specifically?
Like, what's going on as far as like contracts? Where are you as far as wrestling? I know obviously AEW, but like no more NWA. Like, where are you at actually? Like contract wise and wrestling wise.
So right now, I'm signed. I'm not signed to anybody. Um, there are conversations being made, but right now I'm a free agent. I'm doing a lot of independence. The schedule's picking up actually a lot this year. I'm doing a lot of work with AEW. I'm the AEW Heritage Champion. I'm doing a lot of fourth rope wrestling with Westside Gun and Smoke Dizza. We just announced that we're doing a show March 13th. March 13th in Austin, Texas, and then we have a show April 18th in Las Vegas for the for Mania weekend. So doing a lot of stuff with them. AAW. I got some random stuff like a bunch of random indies coming up in like Texas and Wisconsin, Chicago, other Illinois area, possibly going East Coast stuff, but a lot of independence. There are talks with other companies. I don't want to say just yet. I think I'd rather just let that kind of happen, but don't be surprised if you see me pop up somewhere. But right now I'm just focused on indies, and it's a waiting game, man. There's a lot of waiting, and it's like the hardest thing I think in the business is waiting. I'm not one to wait. I've kind of, if anyone knows anything about my career at all, waiting is not something I do. I've kind of always just went out there and made something happen. If someone told me, hey, not right now, like, no, I'm going to make it right now. So that's something I'm working on right now. It's just being a little bit more patient. But I think I said last year on New Year's Eve, I posted a video and I said, mark my words that 2025 will be the biggest year of my career. And I feel that in my gut. And I think that's going to happen.
It's very interesting with what you mentioned, like West Side Gun. I was like fascinated. The Heels Have Eyes, right? They're part of South by Southwest, that big show that you were talking about. It's like, man, he's like really involved in the business, like out of nowhere, kind of, or it seemed to me like out of nowhere, but very, very cool that he is involved.
Yeah, man, and the shows are cool. Like it's different. It's so different. Like I'm a big hip hop guy. I like rap music. That's like it's like 90% of my playlist that I have on my phone. So to be able to have rap music involved with wrestling and on the same show, I think it's cool. It's such a different vibe, such a different environment. It's not so like it doesn't feel like a super professional setting, if you will. It's a lot more like laid back, and I like that feeling. Like you're not, I don't know. I feel like at most bigger production wrestling shows, it feels so like office, like, oh, this is TV, it's office and whatever. With the hip hop vibe there, it's like so chill and laid back. I love it.
How'd you get connected with him? Like, how did he kind of get you?
So, I mean, shit, he was like, dude, Joe Alonzo, like, you're the fucking best wrestler in the world. How do I get in contact with you? And I was like, hey, dude, fucking shoot me a DM. No, so that's actually a funny story. So, I don't know if I've said this publicly. I don't think I did. There was, I'm going to try to leave some names out, but this was, they did a show in Chicago. The first one they did for the fourth rope, Heels Have Eyes, they did was in Chicago, and which is where I live. And the main event was supposed to be a cage match between two more like mainstream wrestlers. One couldn't make it like the day of, they found out, and then two, something kind of happened and they kind of pulled out during the show, like while the show was happening. This is the main event cage match. And I was just there. I was just hanging out. to see some of my friends wrestle. Someone came up to me and was like, "Hey, we kind of have a situation going on. Do you have your gear on you?" And I was like, "I don't have my gear on me." But I didn't know that they were asking me to wrestle. I thought that they were seeing if I had gear, because they asked me if I had my gear. So I was like, "No, I don't have my gear." And they're like, "All right, never mind." And then I went back up to that group and was like, "Hey, do you need gear, or do you need someone with gear who can wrestle?" They're like, "We need someone with gear who can wrestle." I said, "What's the match?" Like, "It's the cage match in the main event." I'm like, "Well, I have like black cargo pants and my gym shoes. Like, if I can find boots and knee pads, I can wrestle tonight if you need me to." And they were like, "Fuck it, dude. We have nobody. Like, go ahead and do it." So I like went out there. I borrowed. Do you know Violence is Forever?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course.
Uh, they gave me one gave me their knee pads, the other gave me their kick pads. And if you look, yeah, like Dom's fucking kick pads are way too big for me. But Kevin Koo, his knee pads fit just perfect. But they looked like oversized. Like, you could tell it wasn't my gear. I showed up just all black pants, taped up my wrists, went out there, and then I ended up doing a promo segment. Mind you, I found this out like 30 minutes before we had to go on. And I wrestled John Wayne Murdoch in the main event. Cage match. Both of us were not even advertised to be there. It was like a big opportunity for both of us. And did a promo with MVP, then got beat up on my way to the ring by PCO. Did the match with Murdoch, and then got slapped and thrown through a door by Smoke Dizza, who's also running the show with Westside Gun. Like, they both together are doing this together. And yeah, like, I impressed a lot of the right people. A lot of people had eyes on me that night. And I don't know, like, you never, I feel like as a wrestler in the business, you never really know where your status is at. Like, how well are you known, right? So I feel like I've done enough for people to kind of know who I am, but there was a lot of people at that show who heard of me or knew of me. But I feel like after that night, a lot of people were like, "Oh, we know who the fuck Joe Alonzo is now." Because I stepped up. Like, the best way to explain it is, like, I felt like I was a quarterback on the bench, and you have like you have Josh Allen or Pat Mahomes or Lamar Jackson, and then this nobody who's on the bench steps up because the quarterback got hurt, and I fucking won us the Super Bowl. Like, that's how I felt. Like, I was like, right place, right timing. I'm not to like steal Matt Cardona's like, always ready, but like, I was prepared. I was ready. And that sometimes in wrestling, things like that happen to where you never know when an opportunity will come out. And I smashed 2 double cheeseburgers right before that match. And then they came up to me. It was like, I felt so bloated, like disgusted. I'm like, man, I didn't plan on wrestling today and whatever. And it happened. And man, like, it really got the ball like going on some stuff, because I took a chance on walking away from NWA over the summer. I just felt like my time there was done and there was really not much more to do. So I took a chance and I was like, I'm going to go see what else I can do, because I think that I have a lot more to offer this industry than doing some things at NWA. I felt like I deserve and have earned the right to be able to wrestle with the best wrestlers in the world, because I do feel in my heart, I know it's like not humble to say, but I know in my heart I'm one of the greatest in the world today, currently, and especially out of the young guys. So I know where I can go. So I had to take that chance. It was looking a little like, oh, like things are kind of not happening, kind of not. And then I don't know if you believe in God, or anyone watching, you believe in God, start believing God, because I'm telling you, God's real. And within a second, changed my life, and stepped up to the plate and hit a home run. And now I'm doing like every show with Fourth Rope. I got other companies kind of interested, and more of that will kind of unfold in the next month or two, maybe. So things are kind of going, and I got people's attention, and I got the right eyeballs on me. So now I just can't mess up.
Yes, true. Crazy though how that works out. You know what I mean? Like, you're not really there to wrestle. Then they're like, hey, can you wrestle? And then not only do you wrestle, they have you doing 10 different things at once, PCO and and Drizzy, like crazy how that works out.
Wild. And I think they were really impressed with like, I'm not saying by any means it was the best performance in the world. I'm not saying like I went out there, I fucking killed it. Like, I think for the circumstance and for how little of time I had to prepare was the thing that impressed all the people. They're like, yo, like, I know that to name drop, MVP came up to me and he said, you were put in a really shitty situation and you fucking knocked it out of the park like a professional. So you should be very proud of yourself. And I thought he was going to yell at me for something when he came up to me. I was like, oh, shit, like I fucked up. I might have said something out there, did something that was like too far. And then but he came, he's like, hey, I want to talk to you real quick. And then he said that. And I was like, damn, bro, like this is somebody I watched on TV as a kid. And like my friends in real life and like my siblings, like they remember MVP, and then just going back and telling them stories like that, they're like, bro, that's wild. So, yeah, no, it's literally things can change in a second, literally. And that's like a thing is like, I do a podcast with Tyrus. It's Tyrus, Aaron Stevens, and Trevor Murdoch. It's called The Wiseman. And we're actually talking about today how, like, they told me, they're like, we think Joe is TV ready. Like right now he's TV ready. And that's important for any wrestler out there who's younger to kind of always stay ready for that opportunity, because you seriously never know when the call will happen. So if you're always ready, you don't have to get ready. I feel like I'm totally stealing Cardona's thing right now, but like it's true. If you're always prepared, you don't have to get prepared for the opportunity. Like you're ready to go. And shout out to Aaron Stevens, because I feel like in the past, I got to work with Aaron for like almost a year as far as like character stuff and just being comfortable with who I am in the ring and knowing exactly who I am. And I feel like he helped me find that and get there. So when I got to do the mic segment with MVP, like I was a little nervous, but because of who it was. But for the most part, like I don't think you could really tell. Like I was comfortable with being who I am. So yeah, you just always got to be prepared, because you never know when an opportunity like that will like arise.
So how come NWA you felt like you just need to move on? Like you kind of said, maybe you did everything you needed to do there, but was it something else, or were you just feeling like, nah, I need to get elsewhere? I'm gonna go for more exposure.
I mean, like I said to them, I was like, hey, like I feel like NWA is not. NWA is what NWA is. Like there's really no nice way to say it. It's like you got fucking WWE, AEW, TNA up here, and then you have like NWA and MLW. Like that's just what it is. Like it is what it is, and I'm not gonna like hold back and to watch out for other people's feelings. Like it's just the truth. And for one, we were on the CW app, and I said, no one's watching this. Like I'm telling, like I wrestle for I work for the company, and I only download the stupid ass app that has like an insane amount of commercials on it. By the way, you have to watch like 6 long unnecessary commercials just to like get through each match. Like it's horrible, like how many advertisements are on that thing, and it was difficult to find, and just all this stuff. And I was like, if I'm working my ass off, I want people to see what I'm doing. And I had a lot of people tell me like, hey, like I wouldn't really know what's going on in NWA if you weren't posting on social media. I was like, oh, like I kind of been hearing that a lot lately. And just like I don't know. I kept asking, where's the direction that we're going? Like, where's the company going? What's the next streaming service, or where are we going? And I never really kind of got the answer on that. And it was a lot of just trust us. And I'm sorry, but I don't care who you are. Like, I'm not trusting somebody just because you say to trust me. So, yeah, I kind of just had to take that chance and just like move on. And I have a lot of friends and mentors who are still there, and I want them to succeed. And I hope I'm wrong. And like, I hope that NWA does take off and they do all these amazing things. And I'm like, oh man, I probably should have stuck there a little bit longer. But I think that everything happens for a reason. And God knows where my destination is. And sooner or later, I'm going to be there. So I don't regret anything. But it was just mainly that. Like, I felt like there was everything I needed to do. I worked with everyone there for the most part that I wanted to work with. I really wanted to work with Tyrus. I wanted to work with him while he was champ. Didn't get to do that. We did a 6-man tag, though. So we had like a brief little thing. But I wanted to work with him real badly. I worked with all the junior heavyweights that I wanted to work with. Actually, no, I didn't get to work with Mecha Wolf. I wanted to work with Mecha Wolf, but never got to do that. I wrestled Homicide. That was a big one. But other than that, like, I don't know. Like, maybe I'm crazy, but I was just like, I want to be NWA Heavyweight Champion. Like that, I want that. And I just don't think they kind of saw that, like, someday, right? But not soon. And a lot of people just keep saying, oh, be patient. Like, your time will come. There's a lot of guys who have to wait for their opportunity. But like I've told you in the beginning of this, that I don't wait around. Like, I'm actively always trying, what's next? Because that's what this business is. What have you done lately? It's not a what have you done lately. So I'm always trying to find the thing that I haven't done yet, or what's bigger than I've recently done. And I felt like I kind of did all I really needed to do. And that's like a thing too, is like I felt like all the noise I made at NWA was myself. Like, I did that. The company didn't do that. The only thing was their social media team, who I worked with, was great. Shout out Gary, like, collabing with me on my posts and like, well, hey, can you accept this collab or share this or whatever? Other than that, like, everything was kind of just me. And I don't know. I just never really knew the direction, and I just wanted more, man. I want more people to see what I'm doing. I feel like I deserve to be wrestling in arenas, and not studios, like, I don't want to wrestle in a studio. I want to wrestle in an arena full of people and, perform and do what I do. And I don't understand the NWA vision. And, again, like, I hope they succeed. Me and Billy Corgan are on good terms. Like, we still talk, and, but I just don't think there's really nothing on the business side for us to really do. If they asked me, like, hey, would you want to come in and do something? I would do it, but I'm not staying there exclusively, and I'm not only working for them. Like, I'm going to go do, unless you're writing me a check that is like an insane amount and I'm able to live very comfortably on, you can't tell me who I can and can't work for. So, that's initially where that kind of, like, that was like the last straw. It was like, okay, I'll still work for you guys, but I can't do a contract. And they were like, oh, see, that just doesn't work with us. I'm like, okay, well then, if that's my time, it's my time. So peace out. Yeah, you can't hold me down. And I felt like with that, saying they only wanted me to wrestle for them and I couldn't do, like, free agency, like, I couldn't be a free agent and work for them. That, to me, like, I feel like a company, they like to say, like, oh, we care about our talent. We want to see everyone succeed and whatever. You telling me that I can't go elsewhere to grow my name and to search for bigger opportunities, you saying that doesn't tell me that you want me to truly succeed. That tells me that you want me to succeed with you guys and you guys only. And if you can't afford to pay me what I feel like I have earned the right to be paid, then it's my time to go. And no hard feelings. I get it. Business is business. And I think that's like a thing too, is like I'll see when guys do shoot interviews or whatever, they'll get on and they'll be like, oh, like, they'll talk all this shit about the company and all that. Like, I really honestly don't have, like, I know it probably seems like I'm being negative, but it's business at the end of the day. It's a business. And if I see Billy Corgan, I see Pat Kenny, I see any of these people out in the street, hey, how are you? I hope you're well. Like, I hope as a human being you're doing well. But as far as business, like, I just don't. I'd rather not do business with you unless the business is right. Business is business always at the end of the day, and it's nothing personal.
When you look at kind of where you want to be, like goals, is there an organization, or like are you open to organization? Are you thinking of maybe AEW? Like, what are you thinking about as far as some goals?
Um, Goals. Um, I I don't know what, like, are you talking about short term goals or like long term? Like, where do I want to be in the very end?
You could do both. We could start with short and get to long for sure. Want to kind of both actually.
Um, I think short term right now is just finding a new home that I'm comfortable at. Um, that's a good relationship that I work well with. That we kind of just have the same vision for their company and for myself. Uh, that's the short term goal. Um, but someday, it doesn't have to be soon. Like, I'm not worried about the time. Like I know I say I'm always in a rush, not in a rush, but I'm always trying to make something happen. I don't like waiting. Um, it's just like the ball needs to get rolling with something. I don't like sitting and not knowing what the future holds. I don't like that. That drives me insane. And I'm sure it drives other people insane, but it drives me more insane than the average person. But someday I want to work for the biggest company in the world. And wherever you think that is where I want to go. So whatever your brain takes you to, that's where I want to go. I want to work for the biggest company in the world someday. And yeah, like, who knows what happens after that? Because I don't want to wrestle till I'm 40. Like, I know people are okay. Like, oh, I want to die in the ring. I want to give my life to this. I don't. I want to be done. Like, ideally, I'll be 28 in March. Um, Ideally, I'd like to be done wrestling 35, 35-ish. I feel like that's a good age to be done, to where my body's still going to function all the way through. If I ever decide to have a family, like, I don't want to be like, oh, I can't pick my kids up. Like, no, I want to be able to live a normal life. And I don't know, maybe possibly dabble into like other entertainment. I feel like I'm comfortable in front of a camera. So wherever that goes, that goes. But yeah, I don't know. I would wrestle for the biggest company in the world, and then for the time being, I want to find a comfortable home to where I can put their ideas and my ideas, and we can just collab together for the time being and make money. Like, I want to make myself and whatever company I'm working with money. That's what I want to do. I feel like a lot of people, especially like wrestlers are very selfish, to where like they like, oh, I want to be at this one place, but they don't think about what can they do for that place. And that's the thing I think about, is like, I know what I can do for a company, and I know what they can do for me. So that's where I'm looking at stuff right now. Like, for example, the biggest company in the world. I don't want to just go to the biggest company in the world just to say I'm at the biggest company in the world. I want to go to the biggest company in the world and know what numbers I can bring for them and what I can do for them, and what I know that my style and the ice cream flavor that I sell is different and they benefit from it. I don't want to just be there just to be there. And I think some people are happy being places just to be there. I don't ever want to do that. Like, yes, I'd be grateful for the paycheck, but that's not, I didn't get in this for a paycheck. I got in this to be the best in the world. And I feel like I'm on my way. And I feel like I'm there now, but just slowly but surely, things are working itself out.
How about a possible rematch in the biggest company in the world with Gunther? You know what I mean? What about something like that? That ever cross your mind? Something like that?
Um, yeah, like, I think about that. I think it's kind of cool seeing that, my I got squashed in these matches, but Gunther and Cody Rhodes are both two guys that I've wrestled, that are both on top of the world right now. And I think it's like, just seeing, like, I know what my place was when I wrestled them, but I think like seeing where they're at now, I see that, and it's like motivating. It's like fuel. It's like, damn, like, they're on top, both of them. The two guys that like I took the most pride, like, I got to wrestle that person. They're at the top of the business. So yeah, that'd be dope to wrestle Gunther and Cody. Like, I think the Gunther would be cool. but I think Cody would be a lot cooler. I think because like Gunther, I didn't grow up watching Gunther. Like Cody, I grew up as a kid watching Cody, his debut. Like I could tell you everything that happened. That I think there's a lot of unfinished business and storytelling there. So the rematch with Cody would be a lot cooler.
And obviously, it would be different timing too, because you're much more experienced now. It's a few years later. It would be much better of a match, much longer of a match too. I'm sure.
Absolutely, yeah. I not so much the Gunther match because the Gunther when I wrestled Gunther, I was on my way to finding myself and who I was as a performer, as a wrestler, as a person. When I wrestled Cody at AEW, I didn't know who I was as a person. I didn't know who I was as a wrestler. I was probably in the worst shape of my life, which is crazy because I was probably the most athletic during that time. But like, I watched that match back, and I'm embarrassed of it. Not embarrassed because of like how I did, just about how I looked. Like, I was a late bloomer. I don't know. Like, I became a good looking man overnight. Like it was kind of weird. I kind of just happened out of nowhere. But man, like I was just a buzz cut, fat, out of shape kid, man. Fat shaming myself here. But no, I was, man. I that was an example when I said you always have to be ready because you never know when an opportunity is going to present itself. And I wasn't ready. I was a fat piece of shit. COVID just happened, pandemic, and then oh, hey, we can't fly all of our wrestlers out. Like, this is kind of dangerous and we can't get all the talent that we need because there's certain lockdown restrictions in certain areas. Joe, there's an opportunity for you. Of course, I'm going to jump on it, even though the day prior, I was fucking downing Oreos and eating like a fat piece of shit. And then the next day, I'm wrestling Cody Rhodes, like the top guy at the company. Like, I didn't deserve to be there. I didn't earn that spot. I wasn't ready for that spot. It just happened. And I'm grateful for it to be able to say that I did it. But besides being able to say that I could do it, I'm not proud of it. I would never send that match to somebody, be like, oh, hey, here's my match. Like, book me because of this match. Like, no, it's pretty embarrassing. So there's times where, like, I lack motivation or, like, I need that boost. I'll go watch that match back and be like, ooh, yeah, like, I'll tell myself, that's how you still look. That's how you, like, whatever. And then it'll, like, drive me to, like, just keep being better. Because, I mean, like, because compared to, like, how you said, like, it'd be a lot different, maybe different outcome. It'd be a longer match. It'd be a lot of things different. Then I wasn't ready, but now I'm the most confident in myself, most confident in how I look, most confident in what I bring to the table, most confident of knowing what I do in the ring and how people perceive me. I just know I have it all, like legit. Only thing, my height, but does that fucking matter anymore? But other than that, like every other box on there, I have it. So now I think I'd have fun with that, with wrestling Cody Rhodes. I mean, I had fun when it was there. Also, too, side note, my match with Cody, that was my birthday. That was my 23rd birthday.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, that was wild. Like, I remember.
What gift.
Yeah, I think, like, it was so late. Those tapings were so long. I remember right before I went out, I looked at the time. It was like, and it was East Coast too. So technically back home, I had a whole hour left of my birthday. But I remember like looking at the time before I went out. And I was like, shit, they need to hurry this up because I want to be able to say I wrestled Cody on my birthday. Like, it's about to hit midnight. My birthday's about to be over with. But like, I'm sure at some point during our match, my birthday ended. Like, it stopped. Because I think our match was like maybe like 5-6 minutes long. But yeah, and I got in way too much more than what I should have. But shout out to Cody for being very generous that night. But yeah, no, like, that'd be awesome. A rematch there at the biggest stage in the world would be awesome.
Now, as we hit the wind down here, we head towards the finish. What is next? What, like, in the imminent future? What do you got going on next? Like, where can people see where you're going to be working?
Well, you can see me at AEW in Chicago. I am the AEW Heritage Champion, 300+ day reign. I'm doing that. West Side Gun Show, Fourth Rope Wrestling. the company I don't want to say yet. I just let it happen because I feel like if you say it's going to happen and then it doesn't, you look like you're full of shit. If you say nothing and then just, oh, what the hell? Joe's on what? Like, what is this? So, yeah, I mean, that's what I have coming up. And I have a bunch of random indies. Like, and that's not a knock to the saying I'm doing a bunch of random indies. If any of their promoters are watching this and feel disrespected that I'm not saying them, it's nothing personal. I'm just saying, like, the bigger stuff. I don't know. There's levels to this shit, man. And I'm more excited for something. I'm excited for everything I do. But the bigger stuff, like, I'm always, what's next? What's next? I've already done this. What's next? So, yeah, I think just stay tuned. I have a lot of ideas, and I have a lot of things in the works that is what's going to take off this year. So I said on December 31st of 2024 that 2025 will be the biggest year of my career, and I stand by that. I said in 2022, on January 1st of 2022, I said Joe Alonzo, will sign a professional wrestling contract, and at the end, in December of 2022, I signed my first contract with the NWA. So this year, I said, this will be the biggest year of my career. So come to December of this year. I know everyone says all the time, like, oh, this is going to be my year. This is going to be my year. Like, I'm telling you, like, I think they just say that in hopes. Like, I'm telling you, this will be the biggest year of my career. And it won't be after this year. It's not going to be like, oh, have you ever heard of Joe Alonzo? No, it's going to be, oh, yeah, Joe Alonzo. Like, everyone knows who Joe Alonzo is. So I think just stay tuned and just watch that happen. And then you can look back and be like, damn, Joe really knew what the fuck he was talking about. It wasn't just him being cocky. He knew what was in store. So I think I like being right, and I like proving people wrong. So I think that look for what's in store of how much I rub it in people's face who doubted me.
Love that. Nice. Now, where can everybody find you social media wise?
How do I do this? Where's the camera? Right there at Joe Alonzo Jr. on Instagram, X, shout out Elon, YouTube, not Facebook. Stop adding my personal Facebook. That is only for my friends and family. But all that other stuff, follow me there. See the crazy stuff I do for social media. I advertise everywhere you can see me. Stop DMing me, especially the chicks that I would never, ever in a million years give a chance to. But you can find me at all those social media platforms.
All right, Joe, thank you so much for all the time today. Really appreciate it.
Hey, you're welcome.